Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Seventh Rule with Sirach Lofton, and we are joined by special guest Juston Griggs today. My name is Ryan T. Husk, and we are celebrating Aron Eisenberg. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about y'all?
Awesome.
Doing great. Juston, you spell your name with an O, Juston.
Yes. There's a story behind that. It's pronounced like Justin, but
Right.
when I was a kid, when I was born, my grandfather wanted me to be a country singer. And if you know anything about old country music and Johnny Cash, when Johnny Cash would come out on stage, he would say, "Hello, my name is Johnny Cash." My grandfather wanted me to come out on stage and say, "Hello, my name is Justin Owen," because Owen is my middle name.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought you were going to say Justin Credit.
No.
So you never became a country singer.
No, I have stage fright really, really bad. I hate public speaking, anything.
But you can
like
sing.
that.
But you can't sing.
No. No. I can't
the
carry a
stage
tune in a
fright
bucket.
Your worries there, then.
All right.
Most of my cousins and stuff can sing because they all are part of gospel groups and stuff like that.
And where are you from, Justin?
I am originally from Humboldt, Tennessee. It's
Nice.
about an hour and a half north of Memphis. But I currently live in Cleveland, Ohio.
Cool. Sirach knows that there's a Humboldt in Northern California.
Yes.
It's famous for other reasons, though.
Yeah.
Humboldt, Tennessee is not
known
famous
well.
for anything.
It's not famous for anything. It's a different Humboldt.
Yeah.
So,
well, I take that back. Our claim to fame is the annual Strawberry Festival every year.
I should
like strawberries. You should have known that. Yeah.
We'll give you our P.O. box and you can send us some strawberries.
All right.
Yeah.
Glorious.
I can make it happen.
One last thing before we get into it. Tell us about your bacon fancy.
Well, I've always loved bacon because growing up in the South, my parents always cooked with bacon, and I love bacon. How do I usually put this? I'm a lover of coffee and a connoisseur of bacon because I drink coffee 24/7 as well. But I try to incorporate bacon in everything I cook.
You're really skinny for
cook.
loving so much bacon.
Well, I stay active. I go to the park a lot with my dog, and I try to exercise and stuff like that because, I just turned 40 years old. So.
Oh, wow. You look great for 40, man.
I get that a lot. I still get carded, believe it or not.
Yeah, you look young, man. I have to say, for those of you who can't see, the guy's he's thin as a rail and he's young looking.
I'm tall and slim.
That's
He's
right.
healthy like an ox that eats bacon.
Yep.
Yeah, that eats bacon.
So also quick shout out to Morningstar, which makes my favorite kind of vegetarian bacon. I call it
Hey, vegetarian bacon's pretty good.
Yeah, it's getting there. They're working on it. I'm vegetarian, so I know they're not quite there yet, but they're getting there. I used to love bacon.
I've had some vegetarian bacon, and it's not bad. I was surprised.
Now, you like Canadian bacon as well, or you?
No, it's a whole different kind of bacon.
Whoa.
No,
Whoa.
it's a whole different kind of bacon. That's
ain't
not
no
bacon. That ain't bacon. Sorry.
America.
That's
American bacon, not no Canadian bacon.
That's right. That's like people up here don't know how to make grits.
Oh, yeah. Well, my dad's from Mississippi,
it's hard
so I grew up on grits.
And it's hard to find good barbecue up here. Because
Whoa.
I'm used to
You're
the
from Memphis, right?
I'm used to the Memphis style barbecue.
Okay.
I can take you to some great places on Bill Street.
Okay. No, I believe that. I'll tell you what, though, I had some pretty damn good barbecue in Chicago one time, and they had some shrimp grits that were pretty damn good as well.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll have to remember that.
Shrimp and grits.
Because I've been to several places up here, and I've had barbecue and grits and stuff like that I used to get in the South, and they can't seem to get it right.
Oh, Q's Barbecue is the name of the place. Best barbecue I've ever eaten in my life.
I'm going to write that down.
It was called, literally, it's called Q's
Q?
Barbecue.
Just a letter
I think it's the letter Q. Yeah, Q's Barbecue in Chicago.
I will Google that.
Downtown
Shout out to
Chicago,
them.
and they have
Absolutely.
the Kobe beef barbecue. Never had anything that fell off the bone quite like that.
Now, how do you like your barbecue? Do you like it with a wet rub or a dry rub?
Dry and
No
wet.
jokes, no jokes, people, no jokes.
No jokes.
No, I like it. I like it either way. But I prefer a little sauce on my hands. I like
Yeah.
licking up sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm the same way. That's how you know it's good barbecue.
Yeah.
If it ain't messy, it ain't good.
Yeah, I like to have a mustache and sticky fingers when I'm done with my barbecue.
Barbecue sauce goatee.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I recently had a grits and cream of wheat discussion with my buddy Rico. Srock, you met Rico, and we'll have to take that off the air. But maybe you can settle our discussion about how to make cream of wheat, and because
okay.
I grew up on that stuff. So let's move on a bit because
Sure.
otherwise we could talk about grits and barbecue all day.
Absolutely.
Vegetarian barbecue, of course. So, Justin,
Yes.
not only have you been a great supporter and very active in our community, but you also had a really good story to tell about Aron, which was just amazing to read. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Star Trek DS9 come out when I was in my teenage years. I was probably 13, 14, 15, around there.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always been a fan of Star Trek. I grew up on The Next Generation, and of course I watched syndicated versions of TOS. But just the way the storylines in DS9 were, they kind of stuck with me. And Aron Nog, his story arc, especially when he got hurt, helped me a lot when I was a kid because I have a disability. I have cerebral palsy. And the way he was determined, even after he went through the PTSD, even he was determined to make it, it put me in the mindset to where, hey, if he can do it, I can do it. And ever since then, I've never let my disability stop me or keep me from doing anything I want to do. I've gone to school, I've graduated college, I have 2 degrees, and I try to apply everything I've learned, not only from Star Trek, but everything I've learned throughout my life to things I do every day.
That's great. That's really great. That's good confidence for people out there.
And sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
And I always wanted to at least pass a message to Aron and just to say thank you. And I feel bad that I was never able to, but I'm sure that he's giving his nod of approval. Because I've gone back and watched I've gone back and watched other stuff he's been in too, and I love him as an actor. He's an excellent actor.
What else have you seen him in?
Star Trek Renegades.
Nice. With Sirach Lofton and Ryan T. Husk.
Yes, absolutely. You've kind of put me on the spot because I can't remember anything off the top of my head.
I heard he was also in Bad Santa, or he
auditioned. No, he auditioned for Bad Santa.
What was the other thing?
I think it was Puppet Master. I think he was in like one of the Puppet Master movies or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I don't remember because once I seen him in Star Trek and started liking him as an actor, I went back through and started looking at other things he have done, and I've done that with several Star Trek actors because I'm a big Star Trek fan.
Now you say you had cerebral palsy, right?
Yes. Most people that hear cerebral palsy, they think worst case scenario because that's all they've ever seen.
Yeah, that's what I've seen. Worst case scenario, people are usually debilitated in a wheelchair because of it.
Right. With me, I have a rare form of it. It only affects my right arm and hand.
Okay. Wow. And that's something you were born with?
Yes. And I've learned to adapt and do things my own way. People find it weird that I work in IT because stuff like that usually requires both hands, especially to type. Yeah. But I've memorized the layout of a standard keyboard, and I can type almost 50 words a minute with one hand.
Wow.
That's pretty remarkable. One of the things that Aron has really been a champion of is being somebody who doesn't allow their disabilities to get in the way of what he wants to accomplish.
And that's the way I am.
And that's the way you are. And I think that's important for people out there, whatever disability they are going through. And, Aron and I have talked about on this show, not only physical disabilities, but there are ones that are mental as well. And that's what that PTSD is a lot about. That's what mental illness is about, depression that people deal with. And it's good to know out there for people who are suffering from that there are ways to move forward. There's ways to continue to be successful in life.
Right.
And there's ways to overcome those things and really not be inhibited by it.
Right. And that's the way I think a lot of people, how do I want to put this? There's people that are in situations like that don't realize the amount of help there is out there.
It's a great point. Yeah.
Yeah. How were your growing up, like, friends and stuff like that?
I used to get taunted a lot and used to get told that I would never make anything of myself or be able to do anything. And that just made me want to work harder.
Absolutely.
And I always hate saying this, but I feel like it bears saying, like, I do really wish that Aron could hear this story, and I do hope that you're right, that he's up there giving his nod of approval, but like,
I think he is. I'm a firm believer he is.
Anybody that knows Aron knows that he would be so moved, not just by what you're saying about his performance and how much it helped you, but even more so just your own personal story of perseverance and overcoming is just it's amazing. And those of us that are fortunate to have not been born with any disabilities, sometimes we don't fully appreciate it. We take it for granted until we hear somebody's story, and it makes us kind of reflect, like, here I am complaining about, a Facebook post or a red light or too many people at the Target, line.
Right.
And other people have had to deal with legitimate issues that they've had to overcome for their entire lives. And I think it's just amazing that, your story, like you've overcome it all. You type more words in a minute than I can. That's for sure.
Both of us together combined.
I flunked typing class in high school because I couldn't do the home keys. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, screw this. Granted, I regret dropping out of high school and getting my GED, but at the same time, it allowed me to start college sooner.
Interesting. I've had a couple friends that dropped out of high school and it looked bad for them. And then they got their GEDs and then they got like a second win for college.
Yeah, that was kind of like, that was with me.
They became, they really made a lot out of themselves. They got great paying jobs. They became very successful. So, sometimes the high school thing's just not for everybody. Those people can pass us right up.
Right. No, it's just when I graduated, when I got my GED and got done with high school and everything, I kind of got my second win. I've always been into IT and computers and stuff like that since I was probably 10 years old. And that's kind of what I went for. My first degree, I went to DeVry University in Orlando, Florida, and got a degree in graphic design and media arts. Then I went back to the University of Central Florida and got a bachelor's degree in network administration and system administration.
That's awesome. UCF, they have a pretty good football team too.
Yes. Hey, so does Ohio State.
I see the hat. Yeah.
I'm not originally from an Ohio State, but I am a Buckeyes fan.
All right. Not mad at that. They got a nice career.
You should be livid.
Well, no, we got it. They gave us Ezekiel Elliott,
Yeah.
Amongst other things.
When I hear Cleveland, Ohio, I just think of the Cavs. Being a Warriors fan, I'm like,
I don't follow many professional sports. I don't follow NBA and I don't follow NFL all that much. I'm more of a college sports fan.
You should have seen what the Browns did.
I watched the game, actually. I watched the game, actually.
Cleveland Browns. Did you see that, Ciroc?
I did see it. It wasn't a good look for the NFL.
No, it wasn't. No, it was not at all. That's all I've heard on the news, on and off all day.
No, it was not a good look for the NFL. They got to do something. But they already suspended the guy for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
They'll take care of it. It's no problem. So we only have a few minutes left. I wanted to hear a little bit more about the character of Nog. Did you have any favorite moments or most poignant moments besides, say, like It's Only a Paper Moon, which I would think is the one that stands out the most to you?
His friendship with Jake, the way they bonded. Mm-hmm. That's kind of how me and my best friend of 20 years, that's kind of how we bonded. He doesn't watch Star Trek or anything like that, but kind of the same situation.
Get him out of here.
Kind of the same situation. I was the outsider. I was different, but he kind of took to me, and like I said, we've been friends for over 20 years now.
Wow. You guys have a stoop that you kick it on, like me and my friend?
Every couple years we go to New Orleans because he's originally from New Orleans, and we go down to the jazz festival. Do you ever get
a chance to go to any conventions and meet these actors?
It's on my bucket list. I've never been, and I would love to go. It's just the travel expenses.
Sure.
Yeah. Have you been able to communicate with Aron at all on social media while he was around?
I wanted to, but I was scared to. I'm the way my mentality is, I'm afraid of rejection just because of me being disabled and getting rejected so much. So it's so hard for me to take that first initial step to make contact with somebody.
Wow. Well, I'm sure you would have been definitely welcoming and happy to have heard your story. One thing that Aron really appreciated was hearing how people's lives were touched and how people, really received the messages that he put out there.
Right.
And to know that he touched your life, and every person means something special to him.
Right.
And just to know that he did so much to help you gain strength and get through your times, I'm sure he'd be so happy to hear that.
And I'm grateful for it, because if I hadn't gotten attached to Star Trek like I did as a kid, there's no telling where I'd be today.
Yeah.
And so I give a lot of credit to my affection towards Star Trek and DS9 and Aron as an actor.
Yeah, one of our Trek techs, Heather, I think she said that there's a character for everybody in Star Trek that you can see yourself in.
Absolutely. And I saw myself in Nog when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Sirach, when you watch Deep Space Nine, is there any character you see yourself in?
There's only one character. It looks just so damn much like me that that's what it is. It's the looks more so than the behavior.
Like, I don't know about those outfits, but
not the outfits. But yeah, no, I think that it's great that the stories, the people are touched by these stories, man.
So true.
And they were brought to life in such a way that they impacted people. And there's nothing better than to be able to impact somebody positively, to say that I left a positive impact in your life, and I left you for the better by having interacted with me. And I think that's one thing that Aron, his signature is, everybody he comes across, everybody whose path he's crossed, he's left them better off, in a better position, better place. That's going to be a part of his legacy, Justin.
Yep. And it's a great legacy to leave behind.
And you're overcoming another fear just by coming on this show and talking about how you feel. Yet another way that Aron has provided an outlet and allowed for us to grow as human beings. And
I just want to say, keep up the good work, keep it going in his memory. What y'all do I think is awesome, and I share everything y'all post. I try to support as much as I can.
That's so cool, man. That means a lot to us, honestly. That helps a ton. and we appreciate the kind words.
Absolutely.
We're always just kind of guessing and hoping that we're doing the right thing. So it's always nice to hear a little bit of validation when people say that. So thank you.
I can understand that. You're welcome.
And thanks for all the kind words about Aron.
And sharing your story. We're dealing with science fiction here, but you're dealing with the reality. And when those two things meet and they can help each other, I mean, that's just a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. And I just want to say thank you for letting me come on and share my story. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Justin.
Coming on.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And talking bacon with us. And no, but really, your story means a lot to us. And for somebody with stage fright, you sure were comfortable. And
you're pretty damn good.
Well,
man.
I do Skype calls all the time with my coworkers, so I'm used to this.
All right. Well, I tell you what, man, there's nothing you can't do, and you've proven that already in your own life. And what you've overcome you're a success, man. You're a success story.
Thank you.
And we're happy to have you as part of the Seventh Rule family, man. Thank you.
For sure.
I'm glad to be here.
And definitely let us know. Keep us posted on when you cut your first country album, man. We're looking forward to it.
No.
He's more liable to open a bacon store.
Yeah, it'll be called Strawberries and Bacon, baby.
Hey, I like that. I like that.
All right.
I like that.
So we got to run, but Justin, thank you so much. We hope to see you again real soon.
Thank you.
And make it out to the convention if you can, man. You come check us out one of these days.
I'm gonna try to.
It's not as bad as you think.
If there's ever one that comes up here to either Cleveland or Columbus, I'm gonna try to make an effort to go.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be great. That'll be another thing to cross off your bucket list.
Yeah, it's going to conventions on my bucket list, and it's been on my bucket list for a long time.
All right.
All right, we'll see you at the next convention then.
We'll see you. I'm looking forward to seeing you, Justin.
All right, thanks.
All right. Thanks very much for celebrating Aron Eisenberg with us and for telling us your story. And for those of you at home, always remember the seventh rule.